Welcome back to Learn Energy Healing. This is the second video about using your internal vision, or your third eye, if you like, for healing purposes. Last time we talked about finding a particular energy with your hand, taking your hand away and using techniques in your imagination to change that energy, move that energy out of someone's aura. And then verifying it again with your hand, and of course, if they feel something as well. Today I'm going to talk a bit more about how you can find energies in someone's aura using your imagination only, which may be very useful, of course, especially if you're doing distance healing and the person's not in front of you to use your hand over their aura. You know, being able to sense something in someone's aura using your imagination only can be very useful in that respect. So, what we're going to do is, I've got my wife in front of me, of course, and I'm going to picture in my mind's eye her aura. So there's lots of models of the aura, like I've mentioned in earlier videos. So pick a model that suits you. I would suggest that you start quite basic. So just start with maybe just the emotional level. Just imagine the emotional level of the aura, or just imagine the boundary of the human aura, which most people say is the 7th density of the aura, a meter or two away, depending on how vibrant they are. So whatever part of the aura or whatever model of the aura you wish to use is up to you. So I'm just going to imagine the emotional density of the aura alone. So fairly close to the body, comes about that far away. And again, it can be further away or closer depending on how vibrant they are. And I'm going to say to myself, okay, I'm going to search for something in the emotional layer of the aura, or the aura in general if you're not picking a particular part of the aura. I'm going to find it with my internal vision. That's my intention. And there are lots of different ways of going about that. So in the last video, I talked about imagining a can of red spray paint that only sticks to stagnant energies or discordant energies or objects or whatever else might be in the aura. And then imagine spraying the aura and seeing where the paint sticks to. So you could do that if you want. You could also imagine that you have a sonar, or like a sonar from a submarine, where a line passes through the body and a blip will happen. The line doesn't pass through a particular part of the aura. That is stagnant. So you could imagine that if you wanted to. Lots and lots of different ways of doing it. Another technique I used to use was imagining an arrow pointing. So just imagining an arrow pointing to wherever needs work. So you just imagine an arrow, throw it at the body and see where it sticks, see where it points to. So that's another thing you can do. So today I'm just going to use a sonar. So I'm just going to imagine some line passing through her body, and then it blips when it passes through something that would be useful to work on. And of course, there may be multiple blips using that technique. There may be multiple places where the paint sticks. So just, if you find that there's multiple, just pick one to work on for healing purposes. So I'm sending one through the aura here. And in my mind's eye, I'm getting a blip around here. And of course, the first thing to do is verify that. Quite often when you're working on the energy body, the person you're working on may not necessarily know that there's something going on there. Do you know if there's anything going on there in this area here? Hip flexor on the left? Not obvious then. No. So in my mind's eye, there is something going on there. So my second level of verification then is using my hand, passing my hand through the aura like we've taught in earlier sessions. And yeah, sure enough, here to about here. Those are about the boundaries. So fairly big area. That's what I'm picking up with my hand too. No, lower down here. Here to here.
That could be internal as well, not.
It could be internal, yes. So, okay. So, she's starting to guess what it might be. Could be the gym, could be the time of the month, could be all sorts of different things. So I've verified with my hand that yes, I'm picking up something there that I imagined in my mind. So that's my first verification. Not much of a verification from my wife. She's starting to guess, but like I say, you may be picking up on something they're not aware of. Okay, so then you can use a normal healing method if you wish, and then verify it with your mind, and then verify it with your hand again, but we're going to stick with using the internal vision. So in this case, I'm going to imagine my hands either side of the energy, the stagnant energy that I felt, and letting energy pass between my imaginary hands. Okay, I could do like the last video and just pull it out. Whatever technique you would like to try. Okay, so I get the impression you're feeling something now. Okay, that's again verification again. So to me, it feels like there's lots of energy moving between my imaginary hands, either side of that stagnant energy there. And in my mind's eye, nothing's really shifted yet, even though there's energy moving. Okay. And as I'm passing energy through that area, in my mind's eye, I'm imagining that particular stagnant energy shrinking, so it's not as big as it was. And you can, if you want, stop in the middle of the session and verify that. Does it feel any different there?
Feels like it's moving around more.
Okay, so she said, in case you can't hear on the microphone, she said that it feels like there's more things moving in that area. And then if I go back, yeah, I'm starting to feel it a little bit higher up. So I think it was about here earlier, and it feels like a little bit higher up this time. Yeah, and a little bit lower down as well. So it feels smaller with my hands. So again, that's a lovely verification that what I'm imagining in my mind is correct. So let's go back to that technique. So I'm imagining my hands either side of that lump of energy, and I'm just letting the energy pass. And of course, in this scenario, I'm setting the intention that as the energy completely clears, that I won't see it in my mind's eye at all. So slowly, slowly, but it is changing. Okay. That particular energy that I was working on now looks like it's gone. There are other things I can see there and sense there, but that particular one I was working on feels like it has gone now. So again, go back to your verification levels. Does it feel different there now? Okay, so quite obvious this time. And again, verify with my hand. And yeah, it does feel easier to pass my hand through that area. It doesn't feel like there's so much going on there. Okay. So there we go. That's a little bit more on how you can find something using your imagination. So I quite like the sonar, like what you see on films that submarines use to pick up things in the sea. So there's like a line that goes through on the screen and then a blip happens when they detect something. So you can do that, imagine some line passing through and then a blip happens when it passes over something that would be good to work on. I really like the spray can. I usually use red paint, but feel free to pick any other color if you wish. If you find that they are already wearing red and it's difficult to see the red paint, then you might like to choose a different color. So that's a really nice one. The arrows are really useful as well, I found in the past. Another technique I've used to find things in the aura is just to imagine the aura and just see where the aura looks like it has holes or a dip in it, where it feels more narrow. And sometimes you can find stagnant energies that way. And of course, that way is very useful for finding areas of the aura where there isn't enough energy, where it isn't strong enough. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful for you to help you find things in the aura just using your third eye, your internal vision. Please do like and subscribe if you'd like to support this video, and of course leave any comments, any questions below, or email me, of course, and I will see you in the next video.